Hey guys, are you a sophomore and wondering how do I get ready for college? What steps can I take to make sure that I can get into the college that I dream of? If that's you, this video is for you. I'm Brooke from SupertutorTV. Welcome. If you haven't already and you're a sophomore, heck, subscribe to our channel. You've got like over a year or two left of college preparation coming your way, and we are here to guide you through it. So just click the subscribe button below this video and head to our website, supertutortv.com/subscribe, and subscribe to our mailing list. We're gonna keep you up to date of everything awesome here at SupertutorTV, and you can check out our best ACT prep course ever while you're at supertutortv.com. It's the best way to prep for the ACT. It's like private tutoring with me, but a heck of a lot cheaper. So go check it out. Without further ado, we're gonna get into your sophomore year readiness checklist, okay? My number one first thing for you guys to do, sophomores, is get involved. And what that means is get your activities on. Sophomore year is the perfect year to make sure that you are engaged with your community and your school and you are doing something that matters, okay? So let's talk about how you can get involved in ways to do that. Number one, you want to think about what are the areas that I can be the best at? Are there any areas that I'm involved in that I could do a little bit better in, or I could achieve a little bit more in? Maybe you're third chair clarinet, but if you worked a little bit harder, you could be first chair clarinet. And if so, why not set some goals this year? It's January, like make it happen, people. So that's one thing, is think about how can you be better at whatever you're doing or apply yourself in ways that reflect your personal talents, right? And focus your energies on areas or activities that can help show those talents, as opposed to things that maybe you're kind of into, but you just do because your friend does. Like, you want to do things with a sense of purpose, and so make sure that your activities reflect that sense of purpose, okay? 2, are there any opportunities for you to start something or be entrepreneurial, right? A lot of times colleges will love to see students take a step in a direction and make something happen that a traditional high school student might not make happen. That could be anything from starting a club at school to starting something outside of school. In any case, ask yourself, is there anything that I want to see in the world that I could make happen, even as a teenager? How could I make that happen? How could I do that? Number 3, seek out opportunities that might match your future career passions. And what this means is you can start to think about, am I interested in sciences? And if so, can I go out and try to find some researchers who are doing science research that I think is really cool and learn about it and learn the kind of chops that I need to know to become an engineer? Whatever it is, figure out, are there any opportunities you can create by trying to figure out what people in the world are doing, the kinds of things that you want to do, and how can you get yourself around those people, okay? Number 2, get A's and study a lot. Just note that grades matter and you've got to stick to it, get awesome grades, study hard, and do the best you can this year. Okay, number 3, amp up your academic game. So how do you amp up your academic game? Well, it's time to start looking for opportunities to immerse yourself in academic challenges. And those can be both in the classroom at your school over your 4 years at your high school, and it can also be over the summer. What it meant for me is that I took advantage of summer school almost every year when I was in high school because I wanted to cram in all of those required classes that I wasn't very interested in. So I just got rid of them over the summer so that during the year I could engage in more AP classes and I could still keep up with music and do all the things that I loved. The other thing you can do is you can flip that. For some students, I see them, they can take courses at community college over the summer and challenge themselves in areas that their high school might not offer. Or you can make up for a really bad grade by taking a community college course. In any case, you can start to plan when and how you might want to amp up your academic game by taking advantage of opportunities over the summer and again, as well as during the school year. So that's also a conversation you can have with your counselor. How many APs can you pack in? How can you really challenge yourself academically? How can you give yourself a lot of challenge without overwhelming yourself? Number 4 on my sophomore college checklist is talk to mom and dad. At some point this year, it's probably good for you to talk to mom and dad about college. Have you talked to them about what your goals are? Have you talked to them about what their goals are, right? Because you want to see eye to eye with mom and dad. If you want to go to Juilliard and go to art school and mom and dad want you to go to local Iowa State University, you might not be on the same plane. Your parents also might have expectations for you in terms of geographic locations where they expect you to go to school, or financial considerations, right? How much can they afford to pay for, and how much are you expected to come up with? Now, the other thing that I'm going to say is don't write off really competitive schools just because your parents say we don't have any money for college. In fact, if you are struggling financially, a lot of top schools offer need-based aid and have need-blind admissions. So don't just assume you can't go to college because you don't have a lot of finances. It's just something that you should be aware of. And it also means that you might want to check into scholarships sooner if that is something that you know your family is concerned about. But have that conversation with mom and dad, figure out what your expectations are, what their expectations are, and kind of get that out of the way. That's it. And the other thing too, you can not only talk to mom and dad, you can talk to counselors, you can talk to teachers, but start to talk to adults and other people in your world about college and what your options are. Number 5, take the PSAT if your school offers it to sophomores. So if possible, I recommend that all sophomores take the PSAT. Why? Because it is the one time that the PSAT really doesn't matter for anyone in the whole world. And it's a great practice exercise. If you take the PSAT as a sophomore, you have nothing to worry about whatsoever. Once you do take it, I recommend that you check out our blog or our video on what's a good PSAT score so you can kind of gauge how you're doing, right, from that PSAT. Or you can take a practice ACT if your school offers it as well. So figure out, am I going to take the SAT? Am I going to take the ACT? Am I going to take both, right? We have lots of videos and things to help you answer those questions. But that's something that sophomore year, it might be a good idea to start to look into because you want to create a test prep calendar. I know some of you might be thinking, sophomore year is way too early to take tests. Don't I do that junior year? Well, yes, you might do it junior year, but let's think about junior year. Junior year comes up, boom, 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 August, September. That's pretty fast. And the first SAT for juniors is actually in August. And the first ACT is early in September. I would recommend that you start prepping if you're going to take one of those two tests by, say, June of this summer. And if that's you, you want to take those early tests and get them out of the way before you're bogged down with junior year insanity. Then now is a great time to figure out which one am I taking and then what am I going to do to prep for it, right? And how much prep do I want to do? What are my goals? How far away am I from where I want to be? Do I want to go to Harvard, but I need like 300 points on the SAT? Whoa, that's a lot. You might need more than 2 or 3 months of prep for that. Do I want more than 5 points on the ACT? If so, 2 or 3 months of prep might not be a lot. You might need a little bit more, right? So figure out what your goals are and then figure out when are you going to start prepping and when are you going to take this thing. I don't generally recommend that most sophomores take tests. There are exceptions. Some sophomores I might recommend to take tests, but generally sophomore year, you don't need to take any of these things yet, but you can start studying for them. If you really want to improve your score and you're really far behind, you might start prepping as early as February for the September ACT or the August SAT. But start to think about it, make a test prep game plan. The thing that I'm going to add on to the test game plan is, as a sophomore, the other thing you want to think about is SAT subject tests. And the reason why I bring this up is occasionally some of you are taking upper level science and math courses. And if you are, this year might be a better year to take the SAT subject tests the next year. So I know it feels early, but it's not too early to take subject tests if they align with your academic calendar. So go and check out our video on SAT subject tests, figure that stuff out too. So my last advice for you guys who are sophomores is to work on your skills. And what do I mean by working on your skills? Well, working on your skills to me means amping up your writing skills, your reading skills, and your vocabulary skills. How do you do that? Well, what's awesome about sophomore year is you generally don't have as much pressure as you have junior and senior year. And so one way to amp up your skills is to make sure you're practicing writing and you're practicing reading and you're practicing your vocabulary. You can learn vocabulary by picking up some vocabulary learning books. I like Verbal Advantage. I like Word Power Made Easy. There's some other ones too. The other thing that I recommend is whenever you do vocabulary in school, keep tabs on those, make flashcards and keep them in a little shoebox in your closet and then review them every once in a while and make sure you keep up on those words. Don't just learn them and forget them. Learn them and learn them because these words are going to help you not only now, not only as you apply for college and take standardized tests, but in your future as well. So amp up your vocabulary. In terms of reading skills, what I recommend for sophomores is start to read things that are real world texts, like newspapers, such as the New York Times, or magazines like the Atlantic Monthly, Time Magazine, the New Yorker. Get out there and try to read a couple articles a week. Try to be out there and understanding and put your finger on the pulse of society and know what current events are, and be a thinker and be a citizen. And start to engage in that process. It's going to do two things for you. Not only is it going to improve your ability to read and improve your ability to understand social science passages, which are going to show up on the ACT and the SAT, but it's also going to give you some perspective, and give you perspective that's going to help you when you have to write college essays in like 2 years. So if you start to develop points of view, if you start to think about what's going on in our society, you're going to be a more informed human being, and you're going to be a more interesting person when you write all of those essays. But that starts now. It starts with reading and engaging with the intellectual whirlwind that's going on in the press around you. So engage with that world, read some stuff. And then writing, I think writing is just, practice writing. Hopefully your teachers are giving you writing assignments. The other thing too you could do is you could read some primers on writing. There's a couple of great books on writing that if you have a little bit of free time, or even over the summer, that you could read and work on your writing. One that I like is Writing Tools. There's another one that I like that's called They Say, I Say. And practice your writing. Practice an essay every few weeks or something if your teachers aren't giving you writing. And if your teachers are giving you writing, just read some of these books and incorporate some of the things from the books, and I think you'll see your grade goes up. It's pretty cool. Good luck, sophomores. If nothing else, subscribe to our channel here at SupertutorTV.com, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.